you know, washing their hands all 2020. We won't be saying that we be doing CSO, you know.
Exactly.
Kenya, I didn't make you the hairstyle. Wow.
Kenya.
Hi.
That's a surprise.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Miss George.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Bonnie. O'Neill.
Still have a few more people.
Yes.
Get on screen.
Jesus, Bonnie, I haven't seen you, heard you in years. Since BC, I've seen you. Since BC, you know?
Yes.
Eh?
Yes. ABC.
I tell you. That Bonnie has been so busy, eh?
Apparently.
Well.
Bonnie, the money have to make, boy. The money have
I'm
to
making
come.
no money. I'm not making no money. Where are you, sir?
You're hiding behind a book there.
Afternoon, Kenya.
Hi, good afternoon.
How you doing?
Linda, good evening.
Okay.
It's nice seeing
Hi,
you guys
everyone.
for a long while.
I'm just joking this thing here to figure it out. Sharama. I'm joking.
That's a grand reunion. We just start again.
Sharma, what are you trying to figure out?
I've seen everybody. I've seen everybody.
But you want us to see you?
Yeah, they are chilling. Are they downstairs?
No, you want us to see you?
Yes.
Okay, so look at the bottom left. There's a video camera sign. You click on it. So you enter in video, or you start in video.
I don't see. Hold on.
But Kieran, that you look like you have been snacking, man. You put that
I see that video.
Right. Click on it. Kieran, you're looking well.
Your face says
Next thing you know, they take Kieran to get
right. Nice, Sharama. There you are. So just wipe the camera. The camera not on the computer. It's a little bit blurry, but you're good. You're good to go.
I can't
I have my phone and I'm afraid to cut off. I want to use the laptop.
Everyone.
Lisha, what's going on with you there?
I'm good.
Good. You're looking well. I can't say you put on weight. I wouldn't say that.
No, I did.
You did? I wouldn't say that.
Look like a joyous reunion.
Yes, it is.
In months.
I tell you, Bonnie, like they was waiting for this class to start back.
I tell you.
Say that again.
George,
Sharama, is there a way to put the light in front of you rather than behind you? No?
Behind me.
Okay.
Hold on.
Well, next time, put it in front of you.
Laptop on me too. I would have preferred use the laptop, you know.
Okay.
Oh God, hold on.
I can't.
I tell you, I will behave myself. I give you trouble.
This trouble. Sharama.
Hi, sweetheart.
How are you?
I'm good. Getting fat under the quarantine.
Oh my God.
Imagine. It's not the quarantine that getting you fat, you know. It's not the quarantine. This thing is not good to eat.
What's the problem with Chanel?
Chanel. Yes, she's very quiet.
I'm seeing. Is she on?
Chanel, are you on? You want faces today?
Yeah.
Nausea.
No mask.
Yes, I'm on. My hair is not in good condition, so I'm off camera.
You might do like Kenya and tie the hair.
I'm on the quarantine hairstyle.
She just has to rock the coat. She just has to rock the COVID hairstyle. Everybody got it.
Yes, in the COVID hairstyle. What is all you? COVID hairstyle, I take off everything.
Need a roll call. I need a roll call, yeah.
Yes.
Afternoon, everyone.
Hi,
Afternoon.
Shamsi.
Hi, Shamsi.
Hi.
Shamsi, that's a COVID look?
COVID, look at me. COVID pain, look at me.
Oh my God. A lot of pain?
I'm swollen
Oh my God.
and taped up.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
How's
Hi,
everyone?
doctor.
Wow, wow. That look like you saw the therapist soon recently too.
I
Hi,
have
Risha
been
George.
yesterday. I have been seeing him on the regular for the past couple weeks.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, wow. Well, I just trust that everything works out well for you.
I hope so too. Thanks, Linda.
Okay, my dear. You want to tell us what's new now?
Karen, Naida.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Nida. Yes, I'm not getting it. Somebody not hearing. Oh, Richard says not hearing anything. Richard.
Oh, yeah, Richardson.
Richard is not hearing anything. Let me tell them they got to log in with audio.
Okay, so not all of us not here yet. I mean,
No.
only 15 or 10 more missing.
Okay.
We're gonna give people 5 minutes to link up and then we'll get started.
Guys, excuse me for a minute. I will drive here.
Hey.
So night time is approaching, so I can. And it's a lot.
I know. Oh my God.
So excuse me for a bit.
No problem.
Nausea and company. So yeah, you see, you're waiting on number 10 more. You have extra one, eh?
Yeah, but I realize.
Hi, baby boy. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Wow.
Right, I think Janet is on.
Hi, Risha George.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Guys, can you imagine Risha George is my neighbor and I can't see her because of COVID? She's practicing social distancing.
That's good. That's good.
Yes, the shop has this morning while walking. I don't see you outside. You're still sleeping.
No, as I am curfew, so I'm inside.
Oh, okay.
My curfew starts from, my curfew release from 9 in the morning, I should say.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Okay, we up to 18.
My long streak of love. Here is how sweet would you feel?
Shamsi spoke to Ronnie today.
No, I haven't.
But I see him online.
Okay, we can start to mute mics now so that
What's up?
one of us will talk at a time. Yeah, so mute your mic, please.
All right.
Excellent. So here we are again, tackling the marketing of our CSO, or recently created CSO. I want to thank all of you guys for the excellent work to have it, to bring it to the point that we are at now, where we have to use the two previous courses to develop a marketing plan for this CSO. Agreed?
Agreed.
All right. So.
Yes, agreed.
Agreed.
So we're at the point now where we need to take a look at what the plan is going to be for this course for the next 8 weeks or so. I'm just going to drop you a first note. Go to the first note. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to do the first note, okay?
I know you. Get on the back. I'll show you. Let's see. Really?
Just hold 1 second. As usual, I have other stuff on my screen here. So just 1 second. Okay, are you seeing my screen now?
Yes, yes.
Course title.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's the official course title. As I said, remember I developed it based on what the CSOs said they needed at the time. Okay? What we want to take a look at can you see the entire course description?
Yes.
No, I'm not seeing everything. The screen is too, the size of the font is too big.
Oh, just all right. Let me just.
Yeah.
Is this better?
Much better, thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah. So.
Right before you continue, because of my pain and stuff, I'm gonna turn my camera off, but I'm gonna put the phone down because I can't keep holding it up. My right arm is under a lot of pressure because I'm unable to use my left arm.
Okay. All right. lean it up against her.
Okay. I'll lean it up again. Okay.
Yeah, so we're looking at assorted methods, suggestions, and documented experiences which we're going to present, and how you use an organization's brand to achieve its vision. So you see, everything is going to keep tying in with what we did before. Yeah? So your marketing is about presenting your vision to the world, okay? So you're going to be taking a look at proven strategies that will be shared to effectively market your CSO in the social sector. And then you try to provide you with material that challenges you to think of creative ideas to promote your civil society organization. And the general objective, I'm going to be sending you this PDF. So as usual, don't try to scribble while we're talking. I'm going to send it to you on the WhatsApp chat. Okay? So the general objective is to expose participants to the range of tools, techniques, and perspectives for the effective public recognition of the organizations of interest. And the specific objectives are to provide the key features of a marketing plan suitable for a CSO, to present clear methods for the determination of the unique characteristics of a CSO, to prepare participants to align the message to the core values of the organization, and to critically assess the value proposition associated with any marketing plan. Now, how many of you see parallels to what we were doing last semester? Because here we're talking about presenting the unique characteristics of the CSO. Remember how much time we spent on that last semester? Going over what are some of the unique characteristics? And especially for your own CSO. Then of course, we need to look at the core values of the organization, something that we also spend a lot of time on. And then we're going to critically assess the value proposition that we come up with at the end. So like the two previous courses, we are going to actually develop a marketing plan for your CSO. So we're continuing in the same vein. All that you're learning will be applied directly and immediately to your own CSO. Cool, any concerns, comments? Anyone?
It's clear.
No, I think this is pretty clear. You can see the transition from moving away from after creation now to selling it to other people. Why are we good? Why should you use us?
Exactly. And then so you must know what your core values are. You must know what makes this organization unique. And then that way you'll be able to attract the resources that you need. Remember, we're back to that word resources again. Eh? Yeah?
Yeah.
See much? Yep.
Cool.
Definitely.
All right, so now, you know, I tend not to go with traditional definitions and so on, but let me hear what comes to mind when I say marketing. When you think about marketing, what comes to mind? Any and everybody. So let's just go down the list. Who wants to go first? What does the term marketing mean to you?
I would say selling the idea of the CSO.
Right.
To the general public or anyone who might be interested or even not interested, but understanding what it is all about and then gaining the interest and understanding of it. So basically, selling it for what it is.
Okay.
Yes, I would say it's letting the public know exactly what you want them to know in regards to your CSO, what you have to offer. Yeah, basically what Glenda is saying.
Okay.
Okay.
I would say marketing in that sense would be more or less promoting the CSO or selling the services that we have to offer.
All right.
I would say creating a plan of action, some strategic plans to advertise, promote, and to educate customers about the CSO.
All right.
I would say it's a way of identifying and really finding out what are your customers' needs and trying your best to satisfy that needs.
Right.
So if I have to, I would say that marketing is really about how we communicate with potential customers, how we sell or how we provide a service or what idea that we have. So it's all about communicating, offering, and selling the best method.
Cool.
I would say it's selling and marketing ourselves. Like, for example, selling what is the service that we have offering so that we can get the right persons to come along to us and invest it correctly.
Okay.
Okay. Just to add to what was already said, it's also a matter of showcasing and to finding the correct means, not just for the product of the CSO, but also in meeting our customer base.
All right.
I would say marketing is promoting the organization. That could be through media. It could be electronic. It could be via newspaper and so forth, even the radio. And it also includes advertising. The same in basically promoting, advertising, and yeah, that's it.
Anyone else?
Steve, marketing is really complex, because the reason why I say so is because it depends on what you're offering. Then marketing, I don't want to say the meaning becomes different, but strategies in which you use will become different. But marketing really and truly is about promoting and trying to capture a particular audience or a particular group. We call them target potential customers, or we call them associates, or we call them stakeholders, or whatever.
How many of you are familiar with the term external and internal publics?
External and internal what?
Publics.
No, I'm not sure.
Marketing always targeted at outsiders, people outside of the organization.
Not in all of the cases. I guess it all depends on the services and so forth of the organization. Besides reaching the persons on the outside, remember let's look at it in the context of the employees. Remember, they too have a networking of their own. So if you don't even sell it to them, then you cannot reach the network that is inside the organization.
Yeah, you want the message to be the messaging to be consistent.
Both inside and outside, because if I'm selling something on the outside, and for example, even on a regular basis, I'm the one that is probably a part of the organization, and somebody probably meet me and then I telling them, we don't know what these people are trying to sell there. That's a contradictory to what the image that we put in on the outside. And just by doing that, me being inside, who should be already convinced in what is it that is going outside, is doing more damage than anything else.
Yep. There must be a consistency in the messaging.
Can I add something to what Natisha just said? one of the fundamentals of marketing is actually not just selling whatever it is you have, whatever product you have, but also getting the audience out there, or the persons, the targeted audience out there, to buy into whatever it is you're selling. That is one of the main fundamentals of marketing.
Yeah. But do you need to start inside?
Yes. Well, yes, you must know what you're doing inside as a group first. Yeah, you must need to know what you're doing inside as a group first in order to sell out there properly. Because if you're not educated from on the inside, which is what you would have done with us last semester, you would have educated us enough now we can get ready for marketing. So if you're not educated on the inside, knowing what it is you're going to do and sell and why we're selling it and who we're selling it to, then we're not ready for marketing.
May I add
Because
something?
one of the thing is, you don't want different messages going out on the outside about what you are doing. You want it to be one accord, so when you go out there, you have a complete package what you are going to sell. Are you talking too loud? What are you going to sell on the outside?
So what is coming up as key here? Is it communication?
Well,
Training, education, communication too.
To say, we all could use different approach, or we could use different methods. However, the message has to be the same, and I think that's what we're trying to see.
Yep.
But can we use an example from Steve and his Apple computer system, and his love for Apple?
Yeah.
I think it was mentioned that you've gone to fully Apple and you design your business around a certain type of quality and expectations in par with Apple, so to speak. Right. In terms of marketing, the process has to involve, in our context, in this CSO, where we speak to sustainability, both our, let's just say, for example, the clothes we wear, the vehicle we drive, the things we say, everything has to surround that concept that we are trying to sell. And that is part of the marketing process, not just, yes, some branding, but it's not just what people see as the obvious things that we do, but those subtle things that involve the brand we align ourselves with, and a number of other things around that.
Yep. Definitely.
I quite agree with you, Brother Vonnie.
Did I see Michael on? Michael, are you on?
Michael just came on and he seemed to.
Yeah, that's what I got a glimpse of him. I'm not too sure what's up. Because I know he was trying to get on with his phone, so I'm not sure if he could get on. Michael?
Yeah, I'm kind of hearing and I'm not hearing.
Okay, but we see it. I mean, but we know you're on because you're
Okay, I was just,
done.
I got a little on the marketing.
Okay, all right. Well, we're recording it, so you can always watch it on YouTube afterwards.
All right, so I'll try to follow as best I can.
Yeah.
In the meantime.
And Kenya, could you stand by to do the next session, please? Because you're going to run out of time just now.
Okay.
If you want, just to add, Mr. Maxime, I do have a paid Zoom account. I'm not charging much. We can do a full meeting.
All right, okay. Well, then we'll go over to Karen and we'll negotiate that.
Ron?
Oh,
That's serious?
Yeah.
So,
This man is the president of your CSO, you know. He would have leveraged something in the past, so let's not.
The president have to have means.
Let's not underestimate the man's means. So yeah, so Karen, you'll take over.
Sure, no problem.
Thanks for the hosting rights to me, right? So I can record it.
No problem.
Cool. Yeah. So anyone else wanted to add a definition or a perspective when they hear marketing, what do you think of? You think of public relations, you think of communications, you think of advertising, you think of brands.
It has to be intentional.
Personally, oh, sorry, Fanny.
Go ahead, Jen.
Okay, personally, it's all of the above. In terms of, I think what most of everybody would have said, but I believe it's supply and demand, because it's not just creating something, it's creating something based on the demand that is there or the need that is there for it. And then you design and create a package that can be sold to that consumer or that person, or if you want to say, or group. In our case, it's a CSO. And the CSO has to design itself and its services as to the needs and wants of other CSOs. And that entails a number of things, including
I like where you're going, but hold on.
video, everything.
No, I like where you're going. How do you deal with unfelt needs? What if the CSO, how do you deal with unfelt needs? How do you deal with a CSO that doesn't realize they want help? How do you create that demand?
Obviously, well, for me, you can't create the demand without knowing what the demand is, and that would be touching base and keeping in touch with the people on the ground. And I mean, from what you would have taught us, nobody should create a CSO without doing the right research with the people that you want to touch in the first place. So nothing you design will come from the air. It's coming from your research and communication with the right people, and forming your group and organization with the right people that could be in touch and know what we're coming up with based on that.
Well, you see, I'm glad that you're going down that road.
Because it's for me, I'm looking at it, when you look at, marketing itself, and it goes up with, it starts off with, buying and selling in the sense, and all that comes along with creating for the demand and the supply. But with CSOs, it's all of the above, but it's still special, where sometimes what the people need, they don't even know. Sometimes the skill set that is needed is not even known. So there's a lot more research, and it has to be really integral. And get down to the heart of what those needs would be. And then something will be designed for those areas or that particular group that can really help, and not just help, but be sustained for longevity.
All right.
I'm trying to wrap my brain around.
This first part of this first session, I want you to keep in the back of your mind the point that you kept making about Drucker's 5 questions. Remember those? Who, what are you already about? Who are your customers? What do they consider value? If you don't know what they consider value, you'll be selling them for the next 20 years. And they still wouldn't take it seriously because they won't see any value in it, right? So you need to know what they consider value before you attempt to sell.
To create anything for them, or sell anything for them.
Right. So in the case of a CSO, you must know yourself. The organization must know its core values. Remember when we talked about the mission, we said that, you want to accomplish certain goals, but you have standards, ethical or otherwise, that you want to adhere to. You're not going to cross that line. In other words, you're going to be very particular about where you accept money from, what kinds of schemes or what kinds of initiatives you get involved with, right? So before you can actually go out and sell, you must know internally, you must have a very, very, very clear picture of what the organization is about, what its standards are, what it is prepared to do, what it's not prepared to do, right? And there must be a level of coherence within the organization. Everybody inside the organization must know that. They must be singing from the same hymn book, literally. And then you go outside. But to go outside before you've convinced your membership that this is what you stand for leads to a lot of a lot of confusion because somebody's going to meet Kenya in the road and ask, this CSO that Karen keeps signing out things from, which is what you're really doing. And if she can't have the same explanation as Karen or whoever the person was that was doing the major marketing trust, then it's lost. Right? And I think there's something that Glenda was mentioning previously, that if you don't know what the product is, it's going to be very difficult to sell it. I think each member, each person in the organization must know what the actual product or service is. So I think we're going to run out of time in about a minute, and we're going to go over to our president's CSO Zoom account that he has kindly agreed to let us have another hour out of. Cool? So let me end here, do the recording, and we'll all reconvene. Karen, you're going to share the...
Already sent the link already. Just I
Okay.
haven't started yet.
Okay, peeps, so let's close out here. I'm going to start the recording, and then we're going to go for the link that Karen sent us. Agreed?
Agreed.